Hey guys, so welcome to day 37 of Road to Grandmaster. So today we'll learn some um, Rook Endgames. Alright, so today's topic is the Rook's activity. Right, so the Rook's activity is the main principle for evaluation and practical play in Rook and Pawn endgames. Right, it can take various forms: attacking the enemy pawn, supporting its own pass pawn, cutting the opponent's kings off, or pursuing the king. Right? It also happens sometimes. The rook um, was the rook is very passive, and its function being limited purely to defend. Right? But in this case, one should um, try his best to seek for opportunities to activate a rook, even at cost of pawn sacrifice, right? Or like um, deteriorated the king's position. Alright, so let's look at the following classical endings that illustrate this principle excellently. Alright, so this position, white has an obvious positional advantage, but as for a win, it is surely a long way off. Alright, so king e2 was played in the game, which is a good move. First of all, to centralize the king. Rook a5. It seems like you just up material, but it actually is not a great move. I think I talked about this in a previous video, but I forgot what is the video, but okay. It's just like the material, the activity is more important than the material. So in this case, black can immediately activate the passive rook here with the move c5. And after you take c4, and black have excellent chances to draw. B4 is also not that great. Seems like you completely fix the pawn, right? But it actually doesn't work because now king e7, king e2, king d6, king d3, and black can play rook b8, right? Or king c7. Rook b8. The problem is now after a3, black's rooks gets active, right? So you don't have enough time to prevent the rooks gets active. And that's why king e2 was the move here. King e7, king e3, king d6, and now after king d6, now you go rook a5. The problem is now c5 doesn't work because you take pawn with a check. Right? If you play something like king d4, and black can just activate a rook immediately with rook b8. Now if you go rook a5, there's c5 check. Okay, king d3, rook b6, and now at least the rook is not passive. And that's why rook a5 was played. Rook a8. Look how passive is this rook. And king d4. Now white's trying to play e4. So black's trying to prevent it with f5. And now b4. Alright. Strengthens his control over weak square on the queen side. Alright. Black is faced with a problem. Which defensive plan to choose? Alright, so rook b8 was played in the game, which is not a great move. It's too passive. The rook will be forced to be back to defend the a pawn. So he should actually protect the pawn with the king, with the move king c7. Right, now next one we want to go king b6, and then try to activate the rook. For instance, king c5. Yes, so that's also why black doesn't play it, because it's afraid of king c5. Yeah, so looks like now white's king is active. But at least the rook, the black rook, could enjoy freedom. Right, so as we say, the rook's activity in rook and pawn endgames is im very important. Right, so let's say you play some line like this: king c5, king d6, rook e8. Now you're trying to defend the pawn. All right, and now black should gets into the second ranks. Right, the strategy is to get into the second rank. So now rook c3 is a huge threat. So there's several ways to achieve this. First of all, f4, which is not a very great move. Right, it's entirely bad because of e takes f4, rook e2, and now g4 good move. Followed by f5, create a passer, and the pass pawn is very hard to defend with the rook because you can't play rook f2 because there's a one f3 pawn there. Right, so it's very bad for black. Right, so the f3 pawn blocked the rook from attack the pass pawn from behind. Right, so Levenfish and Simslov suggest the move d4, which is quite interesting. After takes, you go rook e2, rook c3, rook takes g2. If you go rook d2, then rook c4. Rook g2, rook c6, rook takes h2, a4, g5, with the threats of g4 creating a passer, and maybe rook h6 check. Check. However, white maintains the advantage by placing the rook behind the g pawn. Right, because white pass pawn is also very dangerous. Right, so g5 is a very good move here. Right, d4 is a very good alternative in a practical game. Okay, g5 is a good move. g3. Now after rook c3, then f4. E takes f4, g takes f4. Black maintains enough counterplay. For example, you takes rook d8 check, king c5, d4. Now black started to push things past pawn. Rook e1 and rook e6, rook e1, and rook g8. The position is actually equal. And so after g3, g4, good move. Again, if you play d4, e takes d4, rook e2 is very dubious because of the move rook a5. Right, rook c3, rook takes h2, and the c6 pawn is untouchable because of rook h6 check. So rook c3 is not working. Rook a5 is the move here. h6, good move. a4, if you take the pawn, then we take this pawn. Check, king b6, rook c7, rook takes h2, takes king b5. So a4, rook b2, rook takes f5, rook takes b4, king c5, rook takes a4, rook f7, check, and black's position is difficult. Right, the king have to move, and maybe we take this pawn, and there's too many weaknesses. And that's why after g4, you can also g4 is a good move, and now you play f4. f takes g4 is not great because after takes 6, and black get the open file, and the position is actually equal. So we go f4, rook e4, rook c3, rook c4, and the position is unclear. Right, it's still very complicated. And that's why you should defend the pawn with the king. Right, because you need your rook to fight. However, rook b8 was played, and now simply a3, you have to go back. The b6 square is perhaps even worse than a8. And now e4. Good move. White has achieved the maximum on the queen side and cannot improve its position anymore. So cannot improve its position like with some a4 because of rook b8. So e4. Right. So therefore, white applies a standard methods, widening the b chat. Right. After exchange the central pawn, the white king attacks the king side, while the rook gets full control over the 5th rank. So with e4, f takes e4, takes, and now rook a7. Another mistake. Black should have again do king c7 with the same idea we've talked about just now. And now king f4. Sorry, if king f4 give nothing because of check, and king b6, and what now at least black's rook is active. If let's say you play h4, so Simslov give an interesting line. Alright, Simslov and Levenfish, which is rook e5, and they give the following line: king b6, rook e7, rooks goes to the 7th rank, a5 takes, rook a4, rook g7 takes, king f3, rook h4, h3, rook h6. Now this is only a short-term passivity. The rooks would go to the 8th rank eventually and support the pass pawn. Alright, rook behind the pawn. So let's say king g4, c5, king g5, rook b8, king b5, and now c4 followed by rook c8 and with some counterplay, and the positions are clear. However, there's also another move. So after 7, okay. So white maybe should not force events. Right. So the restraining methods, h4, g4, king f4 is also good. Okay, g4, rook f8, h5 maintains and very good advantage. Right, but the only question is, like, is it sufficient for a win? Okay. However, rook a7 was played in the game, and this just makes white's job very easy, or much more easier. King f4, h6. Otherwise, the kings pass to h6 with decisive effect. For instance, rook a8 here, and g4 followed by h4, h5, and white is just better. So h6 has to be played. King e6, king g4, rook a8, h5. Good move. g5. If you takes, then we takes, and then black's pawn is all isolated and very weak. So g5, and now g3. Good move. So white has created and fixed a new weakness in black camp, which is h6 pawn. Now, so what he's trying to do now, he's trying to return his king to the center. So before that, he played g3 to take control of f4 square. Why? Because king f3 is less accurate here, in view of rook f8 and rook f4 check. So g3, a very precise move. rook a7, king f3, and then followed by king e4, king d4, trying to play king c5. So you have to play king d6, king e4, king e6. Now rook e5 check. Good move. King d6 was played. If king f6, and now we go rook c5. Attack the c6 pawn. Rook c7, rook a5. We attack the a6 pawn again. Why we do this? We're trying to get tempo. If we just do rook a5, black can do king e6. So first we play this, then we play this, and then we get a tempo, and somehow we trick our opponent. Now we go king d6, and our king go to c5, and the black king can't stop us from doing that. And white is just better. Right, so we have king d6. Now rook e8, c5. The pawn endgame was just absolutely hopeless. After this king e5, white gets the opposition, and white also gets the space advantage, and also all of black's pawn is just too weak. Right, just way too weak. So c5 is played, trying to exchange more pawn and exchange off the weakness. And now rook d8 check. Very perfect endgame technique. So white pieces calculate the following line. Okay, he just calculate all of them. King c7, rook h8, takes, check. Right, of course takes is also good, but okay, check. King b8, takes, and now it's just like a pawn race. First, before that, it's a king race, and then it's a pawn race. Alright, and then white pawns just promote to a queen in time and stop black from promoting to queen. So after a3, h7, a2, and h8 queen, and white pawn was just faster. And this is also why it's very important to take space, right? Because you never know, it will help you in an endgame. Right, so king c6 was played in the game. But now it's simply pick up the pawn. Rook h7, the rook has changed its parking space, but the new one is as unattractive as the previous. Rook e5, rook e6, king f5, and in this position black resign. Alright, because obviously all the pawn is gonna fall. So yeah, this is a very nice example on how to use your rook's activity, or how to convert a better rook and pawn game. So basically that's all for today. Hope you guys enjoy it and learn something. So take care and bye.